All right. Hello, everybody, and good evening. Happy Tuesday. I am Tamika Walker Kelly, your favorite music teacher and president of the North Carolina Association of Educators, NCAE. And it's Tuesday. Therefore, it is another episode of Tuesdays with Tamika. And this Tuesday, I don't have a candidate running for office or anything like that. I am joined by our NCAE Vice President, Bryan Proffitt. So here he is. He is on the screen with us. So hello, Bryan. Tell everybody hello and good evening.
I made the cut. Tuesday is with Tamika. I'm glad to be here. Excited for my first appearance.
Although technically you did a special edition in the
That's
summer.
true.
So
That's true. And I spend lots of Tuesdays with you, Tamika. So
technically.
nobody else gets to see it.
Absolutely. This is true. This is true. So we have our very esteemed NCAE Vice President with us today because we're going to talk all about voting and what we can do as educators and parents and community allies and all those good categories to make sure that we are getting out the vote for pro public education candidates. So as you know, or if you are unaware, early voting has begun across North Carolina. It started last week, and it is time for us to get out the vote for our pro public education candidates across the state. But we need your help. Of course, we cannot do this alone. So, over the next couple of weeks, we will be volunteering by knocking doors for our endorsed candidates that best represent NCAE's priorities, and they also understand the needs of public school students and educators.
But there's a twist. There's a twist, Tamika. And I know you know about the twist, but everybody else is getting ready to find out about the twist. Obviously, we want as many people canvassing as possible. And we know that people love a good competition. And so to make this a bit more interesting, we're gonna put some stakes on it. There will be a team Tamika and a team Bryan who will be competing to see who can get the most volunteers to go knock on some doors for some candidates. And the team with the most members out canvassing is going to win. And the team with least members is going to have to do a lip sync and dance to the song of my choice on the all member call that we're going to have on November 21st. So you do not want to miss the opportunity to see Tamika lip syncing to the song of my choice on November 21st.
Totally Bryan's team. As you know, my team, Team Tamika, is the reigning champion of all things NCAE competition. So just wanted to put that out there. But so Bryan, you were talking about canvassing and going out and knocking doors for candidates. Can you tell all the people watching this evening, what is it like when you go out and canvass for candidates?
Well, it is going to be my enthusiastic response is going to be unsurprising, I suspect, Tamika. But knocking on doors is so much fun. So the way it works, right, is you sign up on one of the links that we're going to be sending around and posting, and there might even be one attached in the bottom of a little Facebook feed somewhere when you see this. You'll sign up and you'll get instructions on where to be. Right. So you'll get somewhere, they'll send you a location, very clearly marked address. You'll show up on Saturday morning this week or Saturday morning next week. And what you'll see is a team of people typically standing around in whatever place you're supposed to go to. And usually they'll have some kind of thing that lets you know who they are, right? Like they'll have a candidate's name on their shirt, or everybody will be wearing NCAE together, right? But you'll find the folks who are meeting you at that place. And then because we know that not everybody has the experience of knocking on doors all the time, we'll take some time to do some training, right? Every good canvas operation begins with a little bit of a training, some role plays, perhaps, some opportunities to ask questions, some opportunities to think through some of the things that often come up, right? And then what people will do is they'll be given a list of addresses, right? And I think in our case, the addresses are going to be specifically vetted for folks who are likely to vote for candidates that we endorse, and your job is going to be to get them to go do it, right? And so we'll get some addresses of people who are likely supporters of the candidates that we support. And then you'll go with a partner, right? Get in a car, probably, but maybe if it's close enough to do walking from where you are, you and a partner, at least one other person, for safety's sake, will go and do the bold move of walking up and knocking on somebody's door and taking a step back and waiting, right? And I just want to say, Tamika, I think sometimes when we have experience about these things, we talk about them like they are easy or not scary. And I just want to tell everybody that even though I've been doing stuff like this for over 20 years, I still get nervous. I still wake up on a Saturday morning and say, oh, I don't know. I don't know if these people are going to want to talk to me. I don't know if I'm going to be annoying to somebody. I don't know if, somebody's trying to have their Saturday and here's this guy knocking on their door. But then people answer the door and you realize how cool people are. And you get to have these really, really fun conversations about the things that matter to you. And so, that's the work that you do. Oftentimes folks won't be around, right? So you'll leave a little door hanger and you'll mark your list and you'll move on to the next. But if you're lucky, you get to have a conversation with somebody who you didn't know before, but who is somebody that shares values with you and wants a world like the world you want. And ideally, at the end of the conversation that you have with them, they're ready to go. And you know that you just put one more vote in the bank of somebody who's going to make good decisions for us. So, like I said, I've been doing this off and on for a very long time, and these conversations on these doors are really fun. So then what'll happen is at the end of, you'll hit all your doors, you'll come back, there'll be some kind of organizer, probably some kind of debrief, check in with you, how things went, how was your day, what are any things that we need to be paying any more attention to, who needs a follow-up, those kinds of things. And then you'll be on your way and you'll have the rest of your Saturday to yourself, but you'll know that you spent the first part of your Saturday getting some really, really important votes for our team. Tamika.
Yes.
You've gone out and done this before.
I have.
Tell me a story. Tell me a good story.
Oh man. So first of all, thank you for sharing about canvassing, and we'll come back to that in a minute.
Sure.
But like my very first canvass was as a high school student. I canvassed with one of my best friends because a gentleman was running in our neighborhood and he was trying to get enough signatures to be a write-in candidate to get on the ballot. So that was my first canvassing that I had ever done in my whole entire life. And
little bitty Tamika.
That's right. My little golden bull self walking around in the neighborhoods in Fayetteville. And it was really fun. It, like you said, it was a little nerve-wracking, right? Because you're walking up to people's houses and you hope that they don't have like dogs or things like that, right? But it's like, yes, I am contributing. I am doing something that's going to make a difference in my community and things like that. And plus, last week you were with me as we were with NEA Vice President Princess Mom, right? We knocked doors out in Cary for Sydney Batch, and that was fun. And
shout out to Sydney Batch.
Shout out to Sydney Batch, great candidate, and going to be a great representative in the North Carolina General Assembly because we know she's going to win, right? So so canvassing is a task that is well worth the time invested, for sure. So I'm glad that you highlighted why canvassing can be a little nervous, but it can be fun, right? And how it is important to have conversations and help voters understand why this election is critical for public schools and which candidates best represent them on the issues that matter most to them and to us. Really, all of us, right? So I have a question. I usually ask this of candidates when they come on Tuesdays with Tamika, but I'm also going to ask it of you.
Great.
But what is your voting plan? Have you voted already?
Oh, I think I'm going this afternoon, actually. I think the polls stay open in Durham till about 7. And I think I'm wrapping up with work that I got to do around 5. And I think my plan is to go with my partner and to vote and get our little fly Bull City stickers that say we voted. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that today. Before I sign up, actually, first, I'm going to be sending around some emails and some texts to all y'all out there to say, sign up for the canvassing. And to me, can I say one more thing about canvassing that I really enjoy?
Sure.
So I think one of the things that has been most helpful that people have helped to me to understand about how to get over the nerves of canvassing and how to get over the notion that, somebody doesn't want me knocking on their door or it's some kind of imposition. And the way that I've been taught to think about it, and when I can approach it this way, I always feel really, really excited, is that what we're actually doing is giving someone an opportunity. We're not imposing something on someone. We're not bringing something to someone that they don't want. We're saying to people, we're giving people the chance to vote their values and to be part of a community that votes its values and to be part of a community that's trying to make the world better together. And if that's how I'm thinking about knocking on somebody's doors, I don't have to feel bad at all. Because all I'm doing, it's like if I was just walking around and handing people $20 bills, right? Like, they're not inconvenienced by opening that door, right? So when we go and talk to voters, we're actually doing a service. We're doing a thing that is good and something that we shouldn't think about as an imposition or something to be scared of, because really everybody's out there trying to make the world. Most people that we know are out there trying to make the world better, and they want to know which team to be on to do that. And when they see a public school educator on their door, man, you're on the right team.
Absolutely, absolutely. We know that educators are trusted individuals in our communities. And so when we are going out to knock doors, when you sign up to be on Team Tamika, you are going to talk to wonderful community members who want to hear from you and want to hear your recommendations about candidates that are going to not only improve public education in North Carolina, but improve the state of North Carolina for us all. Now, you heard Bryan say that he was already going to go and early vote, but we want to know and want to help you make your plan if you have not done early voting already. So voting by mail, of course, has already started. We are in the thick of voting by mail. Early voting just started last week. And of course, the democracy purist at heart sometimes wait until election day, which is on November the 8th. But no matter which route you choose, we want you to make sure that you are able to cast your vote and use your voice in this election. So I promised y'all last Tuesday that the website would be up to look at our pro-public education candidates across the state. And it finally is. So you can go to NCAEvotes2022.org to check out the list of NCAE endorsed candidates all across the state. So if you're looking for your specific area, all you have to do is find your county, and it will drop down the list of all of the endorsed candidates in your area that are endorsed by NCAE. So, Bryan,
wait. What's your voting plan? What's your voting plan?
What's my voting plan? So I am going to go early vote because I do love early voting. Right. And so we are going to go, a crew of us are going to go tomorrow on Red for Ed Wednesday to cast our vote. Ooh. And I'm very, very excited about that. Can't wait to go down to one of the early vote locations here in Wake County and cast my vote.
Man, I might have to roll with y'all.
So that is my plan. And it's a good way to do a little bit of voter education on a Red Fair Wednesday. So
that's right. Plan. That's right. So if you're gonna go out and vote tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. I'm at first I was thinking I might roll with y'all, but now what I'm thinking is while you're out, I'm gonna be making phone calls and recruiting people to volunteer with my team for the canvassing. So to summarize the options that are available for you, So this weekend, October 29th, next weekend, November 5th, we want to encourage people to sign up for Team Bryan. You'll find out exactly how to do that. You want to sign up for Team Bryan at NCAE.org. You're going to want to wear your red or your best NCAE gear, right? I think Tamika might be modeling one of the blue NCAE, the classic look. So this way we can show everybody that we're nonpartisan. We rock both the red and the blue. And you can see that if you go to our website, you can see all the events because there are going to be some near you. We're sure of it. And sign up at NCAE.org and join the movement, the Team Bryan movement, that is going to get as many volunteers as possible to knock on doors, to get our candidates across the finish line in the next few weeks, so that we can have the decision makers who will value our students, who will value our educators, and will give our schools the resources and support that they need. So, Team Bryan, go ahead and get it done. And I'm gonna pass it back over to Tamika for the last word, because she gets the advantage.
I mean, it is Tuesdays with Tamika. But just saying, so as our Vice President Bryan Proffitt said, like, we need to elect decision makers that have the best interests of public school students, educators, and families at heart. And listen, y'all, listen. These races are going to be close. They are going to be razor thin, and going out and knocking doors, phone banking, or sending text messages out to voters is going to make the difference in this election. So we want all of us to be involved in any way possible to make sure that we have some strong public education wins in this 2022 midterm election. So with that being said, you can visit our Facebook page right here where you're watching Tuesdays with Tamika to sign up on either Team Tamika or that other team, or you can sign up to Phone Bank or do any of those things to make sure that we are getting the word out, getting our Apple cards out at the polls, but ultimately making sure that we are voting not only for pro-public education candidates, but for our democracy as well. So thank you for tuning in to another edition of Tuesdays with Tamika. We will be back here next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Like I said, same time, same place, different guest, however, because as we continue to move along the election season, we want you to be an informed voter. So thank you for tuning in this evening and have a good night. Bye, y'all.